Legacy Collection.
Thank you, Places, and thank you for joining me. Today we're gonna dabble into one of my favorite just series overall, the Mega Man X collection. So, I've been going through YouTube, just watching some videos and stuff like that, and I stumbled upon a single Nuzlocke video, and you know, with YouTube's algorithm, you stumble upon one thing, you stumble upon it all. And I started watching and enjoying, and I started to wonder, why exactly is a Nuzlocke limited to Pokemon games? Well, besides like the name and stuff like that, but like, what is the concept of the Nuzlocke just like defined like congealed in, or limited to just the Pokemon games, just like boxed in with Pokemon games? So, for those of you who don't know, a Nuzlocke is basically a set of like self-imposed rules that make you appreciate the game a little more. Like traditionally, if you get defeated in the game, the Pokemon faints, but you treat it as being, you know, as being dead. So if it faints, it's dead, and it gives you like a whole new appreciation to just like your Pokemon in the game overall. So I started wondering why just Pokemon games? Why do Pokemons only get like the title of Nuzlocke, and why does the idea only involve just the Pokemon games? So I figured that I wanted to try out, you know, the idea on like different games, like the idea of just like self-imposed rules that give the game like a different context and like a different experience overall. So I don't know if I'm gonna name this like the Mega Man Nuzlocke, but I'm gonna go along with it. And you know, for those who don't know what a Nuzlocke is, it's basically it's basically you as a player deciding not to do certain things so you can appreciate the rest of the game a bit more. And I wanted to do that with, you know, one of my favorite games, Mega Man X. So basically the way to play this game, the formula to this game is, you know, run, jump, shoot, charge, and you know, all that good stuff. And eventually you get from point A to point B, beat the Robot Master, and then you get their weapon, and with that weapon you know, go through the next stage, and so on and so forth. That's oh, hello Alpha. That's the you know, the gist of this game. But I wanted to try something more, you know, it's almost counterintuitive in a way, like something a bit more. I wanted to force myself to experience this game as, like, you know, as pure as possible. Like, you know, I've been watching a lot of Buster only runs, and as cool as they are to watch, I don't think I want to put myself through that kind of hell. Like, you know, I would feel like I'm just ignoring a lot of aspects of this game that like make this game amazing. Excuse me, Mr. B. So I came up with like this weird set of rules to sort of, you know, experience the game at its purest, but at the same time trying to incorporate, you know, trying to never give myself an advantage over it. So what are the rules to this like idea that I had, this Mega Man Nuzlocke? So the first rule is, just like a Buster only run, the first rule is that I'm only allowed to take on the bosses with the Buster. So that way I have to like learn and grow and like adapt to their particular patterns, and like I have to learn and grow into their particular patterns, and I'm not like cheesing that just by using like their weakness and like just locking them into like positions, stuff like that. That way I play the game almost as if it was. I looked away for 1 second. I'll do a mulligan on that. That didn't happen. And thinking and playing is hard. Leave me alone. So what was I saying? Alright, so I'm not going to use like their weaknesses because it kind of like takes away from like, you know, the design of the game. Motherfucker. And if those two fuck-ups are any indication, we're gonna have a long series. So yeah. So that's the first rule. First rule, Buster only on the bosses. Now the second rule is the complete opposite of it. So while I can only use the buster on the bosses, I will not use the buster on the regular levels. So what that does is it forces me to think of like the level design and the enemy placement like in a different light, in a sense. So with the different weapons, you get a different shooting style. Like with this one, it's just like a straight line, like almost like a repetitive things. But like things with like the flamethrower, I have to get really close. Things like with the tornado, it's just like giant, heavy like thing that just kind of stays in the screen, so I can use it to like shoot it and like keep going. And what eventually happens is that I have to like adapt to the new shooting style with the levels and the enemy placement meant for the buster only. That, coupled with the fact that I'm not gonna have infinite ammo, so I can't just like willy-nilly just spam all the weapons ahead of time and just like make through it or go through it, and then like if I ran out of like the weapons halfway through the rather motherfucker. So basically if I end up like halfway through the shoot me already, please, thank you. So if I end up halfway through the stage with no weapons, or like I ran out of ammo, I'm gonna have to brute force us and or learn how to dodge, but like as much as possible. So that's rule number 2. Yeah, rule number 2. Nope, rule number 3. Here, enter 0 stage left. So rule number 3 is no power-ups. So along with fighting the bosses at their purest, I will do it at my weakest. So that means like no heart containers to raise my maximum level, no energy tanks to just kind of give myself a leg up in the fights and stuff like that, and no light capsules. So like the power-ups and stuff like that, like I will not be allowed to. Let me just save real quick. Thank you, Legacy Collection. So yeah, for rule number 3 is that like what was I saying? Oh yeah, number 3, no power-ups of any kind basically, except the dash boots where they're like in the middle of the stage and I don't know if I can like really dodge it. So like that's the only power-up that I can kind of get, and all the other ones I just have to ignore until I beat all the other bosses. So after I beat all these guys and stuff like that, for the last stage, I'll be fully powered and give myself a little break. I'll be honest, that's just me giving myself a little break. The 4th rule applies to this right now. So if I can find there it is. So I downloaded a random generator, or a random number generator for my phone, and the 4th rule is you have to randomize as much as possible. Estoy ocupado, no abre, nos vemos. No abre, no estoy grabando ahora. Cierra la puerta. Jesus Christ. Right. Anyway, so anyway, the 4th rule, the 4th rule is you have to randomize as much as possible. So the weapons that I take into the stages, the bosses that I fight in, they're all gonna be dictated by the number generator. What that does is it puts me at a disadvantage, really. So basically I can't get like the infinite lives from Armored Armadillo, or maybe I might not be able to get the dash boots from this guy like early on, making all of the fights difficult. So that's basically the long and short of it. So I think I ran out of time for this episode, but I think it's good to just kind of explain what I'm trying to get across here, what I'm trying to accomplish here. So for the time being, next episode we're gonna start the challenge off. I will do like a random number just to like not cheat essentially, and I think I did enough talking for this episode for once. So That's gonna be the curtain call for this episode. I'll see you guys in the next one, and let me know down in the comments like what if this is a good idea, if it's a bad idea, or if there's like a different game out there that I can take, like the Nuzlocke, like the self-imposed rule to make the game better. I'm gonna stick calling it like the Nuzlocke challenge, but that's a mouthful. So, and like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!